Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Morton.
Okay, so thank you for taking your time. We're going to go through a method that we invented that is really generating amazingly well for our customers. It generates leads through Facebook. It's amazing.
I'm excited.
Okay, so tell me about you had an event that you wanted to get leads for.
Yes, so I do a lot of educational events for prospective clients, and I'm looking for a way to essentially get signups, get people to come to the event. It'll be an educational seminar on generating leads with Facebook, um, and I'm looking for a way to engage people and get them registered.
Okay, so here's our experience. What you need to make that, you need three things. You need uh, you need an interactive calculator kind of thing that will help you engage your clients, your prospects. You also need a message, a clear statement that your customers can relate to, helping you spread the message of this piece of content. And you need to create an ad and put it on Facebook.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's go through the message. Let's start with the message itself. Um, when people are going to this, what you said the message was about generating leads on Facebook. Why does this matter for people that are attending it?
So a lot of these service providers they spend a lot of money every month on Google AdWords, different ad networks, different communities to get people to submit their contact information to whatever form is on their website. They don't really have a way to measure this. They don't know which one's working. They don't know if they know if they stop spending money, they'll stop getting leads, but they don't know if there's quality, if there's a lot of different variables that they can't control because they don't control the system.
Do they experience that they spend too much money on it?
It's more of they almost view advertising as kind of like a necessary evil, uh,
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
yeah, we've all been there, spending too much money, not knowing if the money really pays out, or we should just stop spending it. Being afraid that we spend it too much, spend too little, and not being able to control how many leads we generate every day. Um, so yeah, that would make a huge difference for service providers of any size. Or who do you target?
So lately, who I've been working with is a lot of wedding professionals. So photographers, wedding planners, DJs. They all are very active on many different sites,
Yeah.
buying ads on AdWords, Facebook, the Knot, these different sites, and they spend a lot of money because a wedding lead is quite a bit. Um, they you can't really wedding is not an industry where you prospect. It's since it's B2C, it's a little different. So advertising tends to work well for driving people to your site, um, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. A lot of their challenges are just not knowing how to handle the lead generation, and they don't have a funnel and these sort of things.
Okay. So what happens with interactive content, as we see it, is that it creates a high high engagement rating, high conversion rates, and the it leads the prospect halfway through the funnel. So all that the service provider has to do is to give them a call and arrange all the details that is not clear from the content itself. So some of the questions will be answered within this piece of interactive content, and that's part of the idea of this, that we can answer some of the questions, and this is exactly what these people need, and that's why it's working. So it's a double feature. Let's try it for you. So let's the first thing that we're going to do is to build the actual piece of interactive content. We have now logged into your LeadDoubler account, and we are going to use the quiz format, which we have seen work amazingly well.
Hmm.
So let's use that. So this is a format which displays a set of questions, one question per page, and it's easy to comprehend, it's easy to understand for the user. It's nice and simple. It's easy to get started with, and it sort of like leads the user into a situation where it's a natural thing to leave their contact information behind. So it's been crafted to work extremely well with Facebook, and we see our clients get 40 leads a day, 50 leads a day on a shoestring budget. It's really amazing. So let's look at it. So here's what we did. Now what we did was we looked at the template here, the quiz format template, and as you can see, it's designed to with the LeadDoubler brand. This can be changed, but we do have something that works out of the box, and so it does contain the next buttons, the questions, etc. And now all we have to do is to define the questions that we put into this calculator. So the way we do it is that we simply start editing this quiz page. It contains 3 pages, one with a set of questions, one with a lead capture form, and one where we display some kind of results. So this is the format. First, we ask them a set of questions, getting them to be engaged with this, engaging in this tool, and the lead format, which I'm going to show you later, where we ask them for the questions that we need for us to be able to contact them. This is, of course, where the value is. So first off, everything in this one can be changed. So this is simply an image and some content. So we can write everything about this. So when I heard you talking about service businesses not generating enough leads, when I'm putting in a statement that I have in mind is something like 8 out of 10 companies are not making return on investment on their marketing budget, something like that. So this might not be the right message, but we'll work on that later. So we're just stating something, a clear, bold statement. I'm just putting this in the center of the page, I think. Oh, it's still out there. It's okay. And now we have to define the questions. We do that using a spreadsheet. So this is just a regular Excel sheet that's behind this calculator. So in the quiz format, which I'm just going to show you now, we have some questions defined with some buttons and choices, etc. And as you can see here, the quiz that we saw before was a very simple thing with 5 questions and some choices there. We're just going to clear everything here so that we can start from scratch. So now we're just starting from a completely from nothing. So when I heard you talking about these service providers and what you're bringing to them, we want to make a quiz that has some questions that are easy to understand, easy to answer, and that engages them into this, that makes them, we can use it for either for profiling, for a calculator. We just need to answer some kind of question. The questions that is on my mind is, are you generating positive return on investment for your marketing, or should you just stop spending money on AdWords? So that's the question that is on my mind for these people, that we can answer these people. So the questions that just comes in mind, just correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just putting in some questions there.
Go for it.
That's just popping up in my head. So it's something like, are you spending money on Facebook or Google AdWords? So that's one question. So here we would have 2 answers. One could be yes or no. So I'm just putting them somewhere out here, and now I'm making it a selectable selectable list. So I'm just making it possible for the user to select between these two. And with this system, if I write buttons, it becomes two nicely designed buttons, and it becomes a quiz. So are you spending money on Facebook or Google AdWords? Are you getting leads through your website from that investment? So this is again a yes or no button. So I'm just going to copy this one down here. I think this is going to give me the same yes or no questions. Buttons like this. What's the value of a lead for you? And this one I'm going to put as a slider, and I'm going to say, what could the value be? The value could be 0. That would be a very bad business. So let's put it at 1. And we say the maximum value we want for this is $200. So the value of a lead for the user could be somewhere between 1 and 200. I'm just going to state that it might be $10. What do you pay per click on AdWords or Facebook ads? So they pay something per click, and this is again a slider, and this goes between 0.1 to maybe $5 with a step size of 0.1. So, and they might be spending $1 per click as it is now. And then I'm asking, out of 100 visitors, how many are converted into a lead on your website? So I'm adding a slider. This is a range. I'm going to show that in just a minute. It's going to be a slider between 0 and 100. So the usual conversion rate on a regular website is maybe 1, maybe 2 on a website that's nicely designed. On a calculator, we see conversion rates between 5 and 20. So it makes it different what type of content you put in there. But these are the questions that comes into mind, and we now have to calculate whether this is giving a positive return on investment. So first, I'm going to calculate the cost of generating a lead. So the cost of generating a lead would be the price they pay times 100 and divided by the number of leads that's generated out of 100. So in this case, it's 10. If they generate 20, the cost will be $5 per lead. If it's only 5 out of 100, the price goes up. Same way, if we move the price up, the cost increases. If we make the cost smaller, decreases the cost. So cost of generating a lead will be, in this case, $20 with the numbers we have here. And the value of a lead, we have that from what he wrote up here, the user. And if it's a positive ROI, then the value of a lead is bigger than the cost of generating that lead. So the ROI is actually equals to the cost of generating, the value of what you get minus the cost, and then we have to divide it by the cost and multiply it with 100 to get it in percentage. So in this case, it gives minus 50% in ROI. So that's a negative ROI, of course, and then we can write some kind of conclusion. Conclusion in this case could be something like, if the return on investment is smaller than 0, then we state that your lead funnel is not giving you a positive ROI. So they have to make some kind of changes, or your lead funnel is giving you a positive ROI. So that could be our statement. And that should be enough for providing value for our clients. And let's just go back here. And now we're ready to actually build the quiz. So I'm just going to upload the spreadsheet we just created.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm clicking save, the calculator will actually be done. So out of a simple spreadsheet, we've created a quiz with a set of questions. Now we're just going to continue with page 2. Page 2 just contains some lead generating questions. I'm just going to download it to check if everything is as it should be. Should we ask for first name, last name, email, maybe phone number? And we just state that that is a phone, and enter your phone number if you want to catch up with them. Again, we write calculate. We don't need to write anything below it, but this is just the way it's defined in LeadDoubler. So we're going to upload it again. And this time it will have 4 input fields: first name, last name, email, and phone number. We do not require the phone number, simply because we want people to actually go through. So let's look at this. We will call it an ROI report. We will keep the conclusion as a part of the output field. That's the field here. We're just going to go back to the initial spreadsheet and give the conclusion a name so that we can refer to that when we're designing the output page. Conclusion, the ROI, that's what we need, maybe the cost and the value. So let's go back to this page and let's design the output report. Conclusion is fine. Are you generating value or not? And we state that the ROI, what is the ROI? Your ROI is based on a cost per lead cost and a value per lead of just gonna put this one centralized and let's see if that makes sense. So now we've built a calculator that has some input fields. Just going to upload this page again because we need it to contain the statements that we just gave so that we can use it in the report. So this is a quiz we just created in 5 minutes just from a simple template. And we're just finalizing that by just previewing it. 8 out of 10 companies are not making ROI on their marketing budget. That might not be a super question, but anyway, we'll just test it. Are you getting leads through your website from that investment? Yes. What's the value of a lead for you? What do you pay per click? Paying 0.6. Out of 100 visitors, how many converted? 12. And then I have to enter the information that's needed. And it's look at the results. And it actually gives some results that actually do make sense. So it's okay for the user to see this when they have given away their contact information. it feels it's a positive experience. They get what they came for, both the conclusion and an ROI. So they are happy, and we are happy because we got their contact information. We're just going to publish it. Just a second on that one. It already have a URL, so we're just going to use that. So now we have a website, a quiz that can be seen here, and we are now ready to publish it on Facebook. On Facebook, to publish something like this on Facebook, we need to make a bold statement, and we need to make a visual appearance. And for that, we use Canva, canva.com. It allows you to build designs for free. So it's a really nice designing tool, very simple. We've already made a template. And in this case, it's about burning money on ads. And this text is in Danish. I'm just going to change that to something that makes sense in this case. So it's always an active word that we're spending. So test whether you're wasting your money. So let's see if we can, maybe we have to do the text a bit smaller to make it fit the button here. So this is a very simple drag and drop tool and absolutely amazing to use. Test whether you're wasting your money. So this is okay for the ad, and we're just going to download that. It has a specific format, 1200 times 628 pixels, and it's ready for being shared on through a Facebook ad. So now we're just going to go to Facebook and create the ad. So on the ad part of it, just going to go back here. What we want is to send people to our website, and we want to calculate or test their ROI test for Facebook event lead generation. So this is what the campaign is all about. And we want only people in Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina. That's the only people we want. So if they're not there, they'll not see the ad. So we'll only pay for people there because we know they have to attend a seminar. They have to be around that area. Okay, so the age, we have to make it a bit narrow. So we say, okay, what is the age here? We want people that will actually pay for attending a seminar. So we think this will be people above 60, about 30, but below 50. And do we want men or women there?
It's both is fine.
Right. But they have to speak English as their native language, so that because it will be an English seminar. And then we can match some kind of interest. So this could be marketing as an interest. And they could also have demographics. So what are they doing? Is it a small business thing they're running?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay. Small business. The interest is small business, and let's just look at that. Add demographics, behavior. It's a small business. They're interested in, what could they be? Home business, maybe, something like that. But let's just start with that. Marketing, small business. So it's a fairly somewhere between specific and broad. So that's nice. It's not too specific. It's not too broad. So this will give us a good reach of 59,000 people. I think this will actually work. So I usually save this audience. Just going to save it as Charleston small business. So, and we're basically just choosing everything here because we want it to be shown. The budget, we're running it in Danish kroner, so you have to divide that with 6.5. We've always put a fair, a good big amount on this daily to test it. We want to test it for a short period, 1 or 2, 3 days, and then see what the results are, because we want to make sure that we are making a positive ROI on our ad. We're running this with $100 a day ad, and we want to set a start and an end date so that we do not forget about this. It has to be before the event actually ends. So we'll set this to run over the weekend. So we'll run it for 3 days only. We wanted to get clicks to our website. I don't do anything about this. I just want Facebook to manage this. They seem to be doing a good job with this. So they will get me as many clicks as I need. And now I want to upload the image that we just created with Canva. So this is the English image, I think. Let me just check here. That's 1 and that's 2. So number 2, that's the English version. So now it's uploading. And while it's loading, we can set the page that we want this to target, to mention in the ad, and the URL. So it has this URL here, and we're giving it a headline. Test whether your campaign is giving you a positive ROI. So we are writing some text down here, and we also have to have some text above this image here.
Do you want to put ad campaign?
Ad campaign?
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean there.
Oh, for test whether your campaign, just to be more specific. Test whether your ad campaign.
Test whether your ad campaign is giving you a positive ROI. I could be, but
or is that too many words?
It could be too many words, but it's basically something that we test. So we're gonna put some money up here. When it's done, we're gonna have an overlook on how it looks like. Too many service companies losing money on advertising online. Are you one of these? Are you one of them? Question mark. So we're just stating something. The trick here is that we've got something that is, you can test something, you can test yourself, you can profile yourself, you can benchmark, whatever. And we're just going to click watch more or learn more. Really, I use one of these. And that's it. Mm-hmm. Display the link. So this display link could be ROI and Facebook AdWords ROI calculation tool. So this is being written down here instead of the LeadDoubler link.
Do you do a newsfeed link description?
It's
no. One above.
Describe your link and
I usually write some. I don't know. You don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. It's a thing that you can optimize and do something about. Newsfeed, link, description, uh, test your ad ROI in 2 minutes. I usually state something about the time it takes, because if it takes a very small amount of time, it usually brings people in. So anyway, we created some text here, an ad that looks okay. It has a strong image, and we actually think that we can make this work. So now that's it. So now what did we do? We made a strong message, test whether your campaign is whether you're wasting your money. No one wants to waste your money when they're running their business. Everyone must be cautious about whether they're spending their money right. Um, so we created an ad using Canva. We created a test using LeadDoubler, and now we're putting it on Facebook, and we're going to see how that is going to work, whether it's going to generate leads for us. The leads, we're going to actually call these guys to talk about their ad campaign, whether they are making money or not. And for you, this means that you will see leads coming into your inbox. So when we start this campaign, there will be a few hours, and then you'll see people starting coming in with their numbers into your inbox, and you can call them and say, hey, this is Jamie. You've made this test. How did you find the results? And they'll say, well, it was a negative ROI. I think I should stop spending money on Facebook. And you can say, yeah, you can stop, or you can attend this seminar that I'm having in just 2 days. Well, I'll actually teach you how you can create a positive ROI on using quizzes and Facebook, just like you became a lead for me. So you can be mentioning that. So gonna place the order, and we'll see how Facebook reacts.
Awesome. That's cool.
So that's it, Jamie. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I'm interested in to see how the results come out.
Exactly. It's gonna be exciting. So let's check in again in 24 hours and see how it goes.
Okay, great.
See you.
See ya. Thanks, Morten.